right? So slumps like are gonna happen. I don't really necessarily think it's like a slump. It's just like we're not hitting the ball. You know what I mean? So change the first off, change the vocab of it. It's just I'm not hitting the ball right now. So the best thing for me to do when I'm in those situations, like strip it down, go back to your basics. So instead of like, I gotta get a hit, because you guys know you're like, okay, now I'm like 0 for 6, and now I'm like 0 for 12, and then you like start thinking about it too much, and it's based on your hit, right? Like I need to get a hit. The only way you can get a hit is if you have a productive at bat. The only way to have a productive at bat, and then you break it down by that. Like you know what I mean? Like you go back and you strip it down. Like where's my timing? Let's check out my timing. What am I swinging at good pitches? How's my confidence level? Your confidence shouldn't dip, right? I haven't even confidence. The only thing that can make my confidence go anywhere is up. But you should have a baseline of your confidence. It shouldn't ever just stoop with the result. Because softball's too hard for that. Like the result side of it, your average is 300. You guys know the whole like 3 out of 10. Like it's ridiculous. Like our failure rate is more than our success rate in softball. So if you're basing your confidence off of your failure rate, you're gonna hate softball. There's no reason for that. So understand the ebb and flow of a season. And everybody's due for something to go like this in season, right? But it shouldn't affect your confidence level because you're 1 pitch away or 1 at bat away. So I want to work to be closer to that 1 at bat than to take myself farther away. That makes sense. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions?
What about runners when you're hitting with runners in scoring position? What's your approach with that?
Right. So depends on situations and stuff like that. But I think you get it done when you're thinking team oriented in that situation. So if I'm at the plate and you've got a runner on third and less than 2 outs, and I'm thinking like, I'm gonna hit the ball hard, right? Like don't think like that. Like think I need to put the ball in the outfield, or I need to hit a hard ground ball like through the infield. Like make a move, make a play, things like that. If you think more process like that and get it off of yourself, you'll take the pressure. There's no pressure on you really. It's just put the ball where it's supposed to be. So think game. If you think game, it becomes a lot easier. If you think like the little components of the game, like what am I supposed to do here? Or like if there's a situation like, keep it out of certain people's, don't think, oh my God, don't hit it to the third baseman. I hate that. Like I'm gonna hit, don't keep it away from the third baseman. Don't think that. Think I'm gonna hit the ball to the right side. You know, so think proactively. We get into a situation where we think, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and you're just willing that into the universe. So you know, every time we're like, don't strike out, what happens? Strike out, right? So, or don't, you're gonna see the changeup, you're gonna miss the changeup, you're gonna miss the changeup. So stop thinking like that, think proactively. You know what's like, you're like, girl, preach, like, girl, preach, I hear you. That's so good. That's good, no, relatable, true. Anything else? Can you guys think of anything? Cool.
What did you do to work on your power? If you were working on power, did you do anything different to work on power, or did you just work on your swing and the power thing?
Bottom half, like the leg aspect of it, and just like really driving my hips. Like a lot of softball players limit their hips, and it's like they'll feel really powerful, but they're throwing hips this way, and it's awesome. But like, what happens when you do that? Like so much more. You know, so I would say like the emphasis on the bottom half is really important. What you got, Chaz?
I was gonna say I'm pretty lucky to be able to work with like the Lauren Chamberlains and Sierra Romero, and when I was like in Mexico and we did a feature on Sis Bates. Do you guys know who Sis Bates is? And one of the biggest things for her, she's like Miss Consistency.
Yes. Yep.
And when she broke down hitting, it just came down to swinging at strikes. It is that simple for her. Like that is like drilled into her brain that she is only going to swing at strikes and attack strikes. But then the other aspect is she has so much fun. You can just see like it just spilling over into the game. And I think that's really important because when things get hard, they're not fun anymore. You know, and that at the root of why you play this game is because it's fun and you love being on the field with your best friends, and when you get back to those basics, the game becomes a lot easier. It's not so complicated. You know, I think the game comes full circle like that, and I think it's important when you feel it getting too complicated, go back to the basics. Simplify it.
There's something to add to that too. Gratitude is the absence of fear. Like, it's literally proven. Like, if you exercise gratitude, your fear is eliminated. So when you're playing, a lot of softball play is based on fear. Like, let's just be honest about it. Like, a lot of it's like, there's so much room for error, we can't mess up, right? So as soon as I step on the field and I'm like, thankful to be here, stoked to put my cleats on, I get this opportunity, like I'm actively, you know, being a part of gratitude, then the whole thing shifts and it's free. Like I feel smoother, you know, I'm not forcing anything. I'm grateful for this, that, I'm gonna go off. I practice all week, so I'm ready to like show off my swing. First pitch, see something elevated, and then like you said, it just gets simple and you're just playing, you're just hitting, you're just throwing, you know? So just like Ches said, like the fun aspect of it, that falls right into the gratitude. Like actively practice gratitude just like you practice reps. Yeah, it's good, Ches.
Should we get a team photo?
Yes.
Okay.
We go ahead.